Your number one RC information source, rccaraction.com. Max Amps. We know how fast you want to go.
Hi, I'm Drake. We're going to talk about brake bias and how to set it up, and then also when you would want to change and adjust your brake bias. Generally, I run 70% rear brake, 30% front brake. For the average guy, I would say the best starting point would be 60-40, 60% rear, 40% front. The reason why I run a little bit less brake is because it allows the car to rotate getting into the turn. But for the average guy, just a safer, easier way to drive your vehicle is with a little bit more front brake. It's a little bit more stable under braking, but has a little bit less corner speed. When setting and adjusting the brake bias, you pretty much just have to go off feel. It's something that with time you'll learn, and when you're at the track, just kind of tinker around and play with it. If your car's pushing in the middle of the turn, it's a lot of times it's just you have too much front brake. But what you want to do is just have your vehicle on a car stand with your radio and the vehicle on, and basically you'll just hold full brake and then just slowly rotate the rear tires and just feel the amount of resistance. And then you'll also do the same for the front. And again, like generally you'll want to start with your brake bias to where 60% in the rear, 40 in the front. If you're on a really tight technical track and you need your car to rotate more, you'll run 70-30. But it's something that's just really neat to play with, and you'll really be surprised at how much it'll affect the steering through the middle of the turn with your vehicle. Your brake bias on your buggy is a lot more critical just because the vehicle responds and reacts a lot quicker, and that's why you always want to make sure you run a fairly decent amount of front brake. On a truggy where you run generally a thicker center diff, you can get away with running a lot less front brake. A lot of times if I'm on a tight technical track, I actually won't even run any front brake. I'll let the center diff do the braking for me because you generally run 10 to as much as 20,000 in the center diff. But on the buggy, you always want to make sure you run 30 to 40% just to get that stability getting into the turn. Well, thanks for watching RCNet, and thanks for listening to Braking with Drake.
Your number one RC information source, rccaraction.com.